Today I'm in Texas to drive the fully refreshed 2025 Chevy Tahoe and Suburban. And as it so happens, right behind me is a fully refreshed 2025 Chevy Suburban. This is the Z71 trim level, and this also has the 3-liter turbo diesel straight six under the hood, meaning that this is a very unique vehicle because for the pre-refresh 21, 22, 23, and 24 model years, you could not get the Z71 with the turbo diesel engine. Well, all that has now changed for the refresh, and what I'd like to do is give you a tour of the exterior of this extended length full-size SUV. Let's go.
Motronics.
Let's first talk about the color. So this is a new color for the 2025 model year. It's called Cypress Gray, and it's kind of a gray with some perhaps bluish hues depending on the lighting conditions. It kind of has maybe a light blue-ish kind of tone sometimes. Other times it simply looks gray. Okay, let's take a look at the front fascia, and the front fascia gets the biggest changes for this refresh. So the grille here is all new. This is a trim specific grille that is unique to the Z71 trim. As you can see, it has this high gloss black finish here. A black Chevy bow tie sits proudly front and center, and bookending the grille are these new headlights. These are dual tier headlights, meaning that the 2025 Tahoe and Suburban have adopted Chevy's dual tier highbrow headlight treatment. So let's take a closer look here. What we have first and foremost are these Highline upper end lights here. These are the daytime running lights. As you can see, they're positioned horizontally right here, and they're aligned with the top end of the grille here. And then right below it, you do have this other C-shaped daytime running lamp. The pre-refresh models also had this C-shaped DRL, but it is bigger and more prominent on the refresh now. And then below that, you have the actual headlamp. It is now positioned right there. So the pre-refresh model had the actual headlamps right here, and then the DRL kind of had a little smaller C-shaped element to it right there. Now this is completely different and completely revised. In addition to that, there is a set of fog lights. If you look way down here, there they are. And then given that this is a Z71, it does have a unique high approach fascia. Check it out. So it does have a high cut, again, for the better approach angle. And then at the front, below the grille, you have this secondary grille right here. It is a functional grille, meaning it's an actual intake. Below that, you have this chrome piece here. Check that out there. It surrounds and runs the length of all that there. And then finally, you have another grille right here at the bottom. This is a functional grille. You have the sensor for the adaptive cruise control, and then to the outside, at the outside, you have these red tow hooks. These are very much functional, and they are unique to the Z71 trim level. There are some sensors very well integrated into the front fascia, so they actually start out right here. So there's one there, there, and then the same thing repeats 1, 2, and 3 on the other side. Also new is this side reflector. So prior to the refresh, this reflector was kind of shorter and more stubby. It was positioned roughly here. Now it is longer and has a different shape overall. And then of course, let's not forget about the front skid plate right there. Now before I move on to the side, I should note that given that this is the Z71, it does have a nice animation built into the headlights. Check that out. If I go here, take the key fob, unlock the vehicle, you'll get that nice sweeping animation right there on the top DRL, which is very, very nice. I am a big fan of the way that these DRLs look. I'm a big fan of the way that these headlights look as well. One little detail I'd like to point out is check out how this was designed. So you have a little cut line within the top DRL right here. It goes up and here, and then the inverse of that takes place right below it within this piano black trim right there. Very neat, very nice little design touch. So that's the front fascia. As we move around to the side, we'll see that there really isn't anything different on the side of the refreshed Suburban, with the exception of these wheels. So these are 20-inch wheels. This is a new design for the refreshed Suburban and Tahoe, and these wheels are specific to the Z71 trim level. Wrapping these wheels is a set of Goodyear Wrangler Territory 18, meaning all-terrain tires, sized at 275/60/R20, and they are TPC spec. The TPC spec in this case is 2383, which means that these tires were developed in conjunction with Goodyear and Chevrolet and General Motors for the ultimate performance of this particular vehicle. Beyond the wheels, there's really nothing all that new at the side, but I can show you the Z71 badge, the mirror here with the integrated camera and the integrated turn signal. I do like the piano black DLO as well on the Z71 trim. That extends to the roof rails as well. And then we have body color door handles with keyless lock and unlock at the front door handles, as well as at the rear door handles as well. You also have this assist step that runs the length of essentially the doors that's there. And then, given that this is a Suburban, you have a lot of stuff after the rear wheels. Before I get to the rear end though, I would like to tell you about this. Now this is the new comms fin, meaning communications fin. For the 2025 model year, the Suburban and the Tahoe both get 5G connectivity, replacing 4G. All right, let's move our way around to the rear and see what's going on here. So at the rear, essentially the rear end is the same with the exception of a few small details, such as the tail lights. The shape is the same, but the graphic within them has been completely redesigned. Now on the pre-refreshed Tahoe and Suburban, the tail lights, well, they had some incandescent elements to them, preventing the vehicles from having an all LED lighting setup at the rear. Well, this is now a complete LED setup, and the actual signature, the actual graphic within the tail lamps has been flipped. So prior to the refresh, this kind of setup, this was positioned inside of the tail lamp itself. Now it's on the outside, and that kind of gives the impression that both the Tahoe and Suburban are even wider than they really are. It's kind of a visual trick of sorts. Check out the graphic. It's very attractive. So it does start out here. This one runs up. This one comes out here, runs down. You do have the side reflector built into the outer edge of the tail lamp housing here. Now, from what I recall, the pre-refresh Tahoe and Suburban, they did have a script within the tail lamp housing itself. That script has now disappeared for this refresh. Just like the DRLs at the front, these tail lamps also have an animation. So if I unlock the Suburban, there is that animation. It looks great, very modern, finally brings the Suburbans and the Tahoe's tail lamps into the 21st century, away from incandescent bulbs to a full LED setup. This here is the signature, and it also doubles as the brake light and the turn signal. And then these are the reverse lights right there. These, when they're in reverse, this thing looks absolutely stunning. Beyond the tail lamps, but still working in conjunction with them, is this new black trim that runs all the way across the actual lift gate. Now this makes the rear end look a lot more modern and a lot better, and really a lot more sporty probably too, than the pre-refresh models as well. And then one last thing I will note here about the rear end is that the 2025 Tahoe and Suburban have gained the auto sense or auto open liftgate. This will essentially automatically open the hatch door when the vehicle senses that someone is behind the vehicle with the key fob on their person and they have been standing in the zone long enough to actually open the hatch. If you don't want that to happen, you simply take a couple of steps back and it will cancel the opening operation. There is a small change to the positioning of the logo, black Chevy bow tie here, just like at the front. And then really outside of that, I don't think that there's anything else that's new. You still have the spoiler back here mounted at the top of the actual liftgate, which conceals the rear wiper, thereby delivering a very clean rear glass appearance. You can still pop the rear glass individually if you'd like to, like so, and open that up like that. You have the black Suburban lettering there, Duramax badge right there. As you can tell, the Duramax badge is silver, so you kind of have this strange interplay between black nameplate badging and silver or chrome engine badging. I would have personally preferred this to be finished in black if this is finished in black as well. Regardless, this is the Duramax engine, which, like I said in the beginning, was not available with the Z71 trim level before. You also have here the rear camera right there, and a washer for it as well. There it goes, it just washes that right there. And then you have the quad exhaust right there. Also new are these reflectors. They've been redone and essentially they've been retouched and massaged to work better with this design. The quad exhaust tips carry over from models prior to the refresh. This rear panel here houses the tow hitch. Currently it's covered, but you can remove it and therefore expose the tow hitch. Parking sensors are present and accounted for here, there, and then the same thing repeats here, here, and here. The Chevy Tahoe, which is the same vehicle but a little shorter, it receives the same changes inside as well as outside for the 2025 model year. For GMAuthority.com and the Metrolix Network, I'm Alex Luft. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Metrolix.